What's going on, traders? Clay here with Top One Trader. Let's get into the weekly outlook for the week on February 8th and 9th. So it's going to be pretty quiet week in terms of data. We do have core retail sales on Tuesday, but other than that, I don't see any massive movers really, except the crescendo, I guess you would say, will be on Friday with the inflation, right? Because the big kind of news around that, what the Fed does is based on inflation, whether or not they're going to raise interest rates, lower interest rates, and that's pretty much the dance that they do with that. So Trump has been lobbying, and he always does, for lower interest rates. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on. Of course, if the inflation's high, which it has been, like all you have to do is still go to the grocery store. It's not like it's improved. And if it's high, then really they don't have much, room to lower interest rates. But we'll see. You never know. And so that being said, I wanted to get into this week something a little different, and Bitcoin, right? So now a lot of this has to do with, interestingly enough, I'm not saying it's the main reason, but Jeffrey Epstein was tied into the white papers, or at least the funding of Bitcoin when it started. And, once that was revealed in the Epstein documents, things started to sell off pretty quickly, right? So now you can see here, we do have, it couldn't be more cut and dry, a bear flag pattern. Now some people are like, those aren't even real, this and that, but you can look at this and say, well, this looks like a bear flag to me. And generally the bottom of the flag equals to about the length of the pole of the flag, which you can see right there, right? So pretty interesting move there. Whether or not you're trading crypto, it's good to know what's going on. Now, from this last low to the high, you can see where we just hit bang on the 127.2 Fibonacci retracement. So, me personally, I would like to get in on Bitcoin, but quite a bit lower, and we'll see if it happens, target this 161.8. If it goes down to 43, maybe you could make the argument that it's going to go to zero from there, but that seems to me to be the next significant level. Now, 200% of that move would be 24K, and man, so we'll see what goes on with that. It's pretty interesting parallel though. And you can see here, this is the dollar index. The dollar has still been showing weakness despite a short recovery, but you can see it here. Euro USD, we're on the 4-hour time frame. Oh, this is 3-day, excuse me. We're on the 3-day looking at Bitcoin. Now, if I go back to the dollar index, so we have moved quite a bit higher here, and it's interesting, it just hit this fair value gap. Bang on. So I think my bet would be this week that we're going to just kind of see a bit of a range here from, in the dollar index, from this level to around 97 to about 98. And then based on whatever happens with the CPI data, then we might see a move from there, right? So you can see that's reflected pretty decently. Dollar CAD, dollar yen, right into that fair value gap. These correlations are very interesting. And this is GBP USD, one of my favorite FX pairs to trade. And look, just for the sake of doing a demonstration here, right? What do we got here, right? Let's see if this holds true. There. And we'll make the flag pole. Here's the bear flag. And then right there, right? So it holds up in a lot of cases. Now, what I like to do is also, I'm a big fan of Fibonacci's and Fibonacci extensions. So really I would just measure that flag and you can see we're right on 200% of that move, like just bang on. So some interesting moves this week. I do think it's going to be a pretty rangy market until CPI. Let's hold on, see what happens. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about gold. It'll be interesting to see if we kind of take out some of these levels up here, if we start rallying again. If we do, man, we could go for 6 or 7K. So let's have a great week, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Peace.